Today, on Worldwide Entertainment TV podcast, we got Dean Simone, who delves into different aspects in the entertainment business.
Did Dad say something?
Got a thing yet?
I don't want to hear it.
Stop yelling, all right?
I'm not yelling.
You're yelling!
God damn you!
God damn you!
Our project Game Day, we see is about the football, the role of football. Are you a hardcore football fan?
I am a hardcore football fan. Just so that folks, so that they know when they're renting the movie or they're seeing it, you can see it for free on Tubi and on Plex. Yeah. The thing about it is it's really not about football. The Arena is an Italian family that gets together, a very conflicted Italian family that is has a lot of battling going on with each other. And it's the Sunday game between the Cowboys and the Eagles, which is a huge rivalry. That's actually happening this Sunday. It's in real, right. So it's about them getting together, very dysfunctional family, and all of the family drama erupting on one day. So it's all the things that have occurred over the last year, 2 years. Some people are estranged from each other. Some people have been talking but have been fighting, and it's all of these elements of a three-generational home and family come together on a given Sunday, and the sparks that fly and the things that happen.
Okay. So what made you decide to come up with a concept like that for a film?
Well, I had written another film that I am actually going to be doing next, called Sam's Hidden Pieces. But I had gotten in touch with the director because he's a very good director and a very good purveyor of scripts, and has great notes about scripts. And he really loved the new one, the one that we will be doing. But he had an idea of doing something that was loosely based on my family, because my family is a big, crazy, loud, dramatic Italian family. So he pitched the idea of, hey, you should write something about that. And I said, all right, well, let me see what I can come up with. And we wrote it together, loosely based on my family, not at all entirely. No, it's definitely not a documentary. So it's fictionalized in a lot of ways, but I do think that it's indicative of what you see in a lot of multi-generational families. And we just delved into that as honestly as we could.
So could you tell us some of the main characters in the film?
Yeah, the character I play, his name is Zach Forte, and he's sort of the glue that holds the family together. He's an actor who is doing his best to make a living. He is remarried. He has a wife that he's been with for about 15 years. They have a son together who's younger. He has two older sons, who one he has a very, very difficult relationship with. And then he has his mother and father who live with him in this house. The father was a business executive, but got himself into some trouble gambling, not just on the stock market, but also in games as well. And his mother is going through a health scare. So that's all occurring while his two older sons are in to celebrate the oldest son's birthday. So there's a lot of fighting that goes between the middle son and my character. And he has some drug issues and some problems there. So it's it's just the perfect storm coming together. So it's a lot of family that we would all recognize in our own families too. And we try to tell the truth about that.
Yeah. Okay. So what would you say are 3 moments in the film that you believe would touch the viewers while they're watching it?
Well, Without giving the ending of the movie
Yeah,
away,
yeah,
I would say the first one is when we find out that my character is up for what would be a very, very, very big part that would really help the family's financial situation. And my character is always trying to fix things. That's the nature of him. Is he's always trying to fix things for everybody else, and it's not always an altruistic reason that he's doing it. A lot of it is that it's ego, it's his own feeling that he has to do those things. So we find out pretty early on that he's up for something that's extremely big, that could not only help himself but help his family a great deal. The other thing is that we find out pretty early on that my ex is coming because it is my oldest son's birthday, and my
yeah,
present wife and my ex-wife have been avoiding each other quite a bit. There's no love lost between the two of them. So the moment that Jamie, who's my present wife in the movie, finds out that my ex is coming, that really sets the table for a lot of tension that's going to go on. And then the third is undoubtedly the massive emotional and physical eruption that takes place between myself and my middle son as the movie progresses, and you just feel it bubbling and percolating throughout the entire film. So when that
yeah.
moment comes, I think it's a pretty defining moment in the movie.
Okay. So how long did it take to finish the whole project?
It was 3 weeks of shooting, 3.5 weeks of shooting, and we worked 6 days a week. It was right smack in the middle of the whole COVID situation.
Yeah, I figured so.
Yeah, but it was when one of the dips in it. So it was
Okay.
actually time when some of the things had relaxed. So thankfully we squeezed it in, and I'll tell you, man, talk about a blessing. Nobody got it. Nobody had it on the set.
Yeah,
Everybody tested negative. We were just totally, completely blessed with that, because it could have it could have been bad. Like one
yeah,
person having it would have shut the whole thing down. And when you're talking about indie films, there's no, hey, we're going to put it off to another date, because it's just about scrapping the money, getting the sponsors. We got
yeah.
sponsors, money to shoot it at a certain point. We got a great crew, but we had them for that period of time. So it was challenging, but we got very blessed in the
Yeah.
situation.
So I see your background. You do multiple things. You do acting, screenwriting, producing.
Yeah,
Out of the three, which one do you find comes easiest, if it comes easy at all?
that's a great question. I tend to be pretty hard on myself. I come from an athletic background. I was a pretty poor. I was a aspiring athlete growing up. Played sports all through high school, and really learned the value of working hard, and really never looking at what I did and saying, "Oh, this is great. I've accomplished this," or this comes easy for me. So
Yeah,
my nature is very blue collar, working class, dig in, work hard. So I never really feel like anything comes completely natural to me. I would say all three of the things are definitely in my wheelhouse, and I don't feel like, there's a struggle to do any of them. And it's sort of like, the best way I could put it is, it's sort of like if you had three children and
yeah,
somebody said to you, "Which one do you like the best?" And you'd be like, "Well, I love them all for specific and different reasons. Which one's the easiest?" Well, easy in what respect? Acting is, man, it's such a rewarding thing. And the great thing about acting is what happens in between action and cut.
yeah.
That's great. The stuff that goes around it can be very, very difficult. And as far as writing is concerned, writing is a very all-encompassing thing, in that when you write and you're in the middle of, and I don't know if you're a writer yourself as well. If you are, then you'll know what I'm saying. It's that when you
Yeah,
dive,
one of our hosts, Miss Goldie in Atlanta,
uh-huh.
she actually wrote a series that we just put up the trailer this week on unexpected behavior. So
Oh, wow,
in
cool.
her, that's in her
Wow,
her.
I'll look out for that. What
Yeah,
she tell you, one thing about I heard Judd Apatow make a comment about writing, and I thought it was one of the most appropriate comments I've ever heard. Is he said that when you're in the middle of writing something, every single thing that you do feels as though you're cheating on writing. So that's
yeah,
kind of that's kind of how I feel about it. I mean, once I dive into a screenplay, and I'm deep into doing it. And I'm a songwriter too, so I write music as well. And when I
yeah,
find myself like really in it, it's really so engrossing and all encompassing. It's really hard to imagine doing anything other than that. As far as
yeah,
producing is concerned, I love doing the work of making it come together and putting the right people together. And I think that's always an exciting thing to do. The difficulty, and for all your listeners who are thinking about making a film and wanting to do independent film, I can tell
yeah,
you right now, the most difficult thing is raising money. Um, Getting money together is it's the whole thing, because you can't
yeah,
make it unless you have the money. And most of us independent filmmakers, you know, we're approaching investors, we're approaching businesses, we're trying to raise the money to do it. And I think that's the most unsavory, difficult aspect of it, without a shadow of a doubt.
yeah. Because we interviewed Tanya Williams. We just put up the interview 2 days ago.
Mhm.
Well, when this comes out, it'll be last week. So I say last week.
Right.
And what you're saying right now, that's what she tries to do because she was in the soap opera Young and the Restless.
Right.
So she
I
came back, yeah, she came back to Toronto and she set up the Real World Film Festival. And she actually tries to help filmmakers with budgets and getting financial assistance. So yeah, she spoke about that hardship. The creativity is always bubbling there, but then the other end, the business end, is the part that a lot of people have the problems with.
Yeah, very much so, my friend. I mean, that is the thing that's hard. And it's so funny that you'll talk to other filmmakers, you'll talk to other actors or writers, and this always cracks me up, is when they say, "Well, I'm good at all the parts of it. The one thing I'm not good at is raising money," which
Mm.
um, it's sort of like, how can I put it? It's sort of like saying, if you're a musician, saying, I'm really good at being a rock star, but what I'm not good at is like learning how to play my instrument. It's like
Yeah,
you've got to raise the money, because unless you've got Sony or Warner Brothers, or the Marvel universe that I mean, unless there's some Disney, there's
yeah,
somebody there footing your
big,
bill.
yeah, the
Yeah,
big,
and that's not the case for myself, and I know it's certainly is the case, for a lot of filmmakers out there. But we got to make these films. One thing that's great about it is we don't have to answer to anybody. We get to make these films the way that we see fit, and
yeah.
take a position and a perspective that we don't have to answer to anybody. We're saying the things that we feel.
Okay. So how do you feel about the internet, and has it helped independent filmmakers? Because it gives some outlet that wasn't there probably like 20 years ago.
I think you hit the nail right on the head. It's very astute. I think, yes, I think that we are able, not just with the internet, but also with technology. It is easier to make a film for less money now. Distribution is still a huge part of it.
Yeah,
We just got our film just got on Tubi and on Plex just about 3 weeks ago, a month ago maybe, and that's making such a huge difference, because people
yeah,
can
no
see it.
flex.
And it's fantastic. And
Yeah, it is.
I love them both. And the thing about it that's very, very difficult. I mean, I'm a fan of so many actors and so many directors, and just so many writers, and I find myself going to like say Amazon Prime or anything, and thinking, well, gosh, man, I mean, as much as I love Brad Pitt, or as much as I love Tom Hanks, man, I'm not sure I really want to put out $4 to rent this, because I'm going to just wait until it gets on one of the platforms that I
Oh yeah,
have, and watch it. Um, And so that's such a big part of it, you know, and we finally got on that. So I now a lot of people are seeing the movie and we're getting some really nice reviews and you
Yeah.
know, hoping to make the next one. You know, that's the name of the game.
So your next project, how far away are you from having a release for that, or is it still in the beginning process?
Very beginning process. One thing that we really wanted to focus in on and make sure occurred was that Game Day found a platform like Tubi and like Plex.
Yes.
That was kind of a mission accomplished. Once that occurred, thanks to our executive producer, John Paul Rice, who did a phenomenal job, and Edgar Bravo, who is also the director and part of the company that put the money together to do it. Once that occurred, we could start to look towards the next project. So that one is, you know, we're just getting started, making the phone calls to get the money raised. We have some really people we respect a lot that are attached to it. And
Yeah.
you know, it's this is the beginning stages, but we're hoping to have it to start shooting it next fall. That's the target date. So that's what we're looking at.
So also seeing you've worked with some notable figures in the entertainment world. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah. Well, a couple things. First thing was I do a fair amount of commercials, keeps the lights on in the house,
Yeah.
not unlike the character Zach in Game Day. And I was Jim Beam in the Jim Beam ads for a couple of years, and I got to work with a gentleman named Hoyte Van Hoytema, who is just a he's just one of the most brilliant cinematographers and directors, and he
Yeah.
was fantastic in it, as well as John Hillcoat, and then also um, Michel Gondry and gosh, Jon Voight, Mickey Rourke. All these guys were just amazing people to work with and to be a part of something that they're on, and to watch the way that they go about doing things. And you know,
Yeah.
it's sort of like having a chance, you know, to play for Manchester United, you know, for you know,
Oh,
a week or two, and go, oh, so this
yeah.
is how Yankees do it. This is how the old Patriots used to do it. You know, the old
Yeah.
Lakers used to do it. So it was a great learning experience, and I found most of them to be extremely gracious and very forthcoming, honest about themselves and honest about how to go about doing things. And I
Yeah.
certainly gleaned so much from working with all of them. It was very cool.
You also touched upon being a musician. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I have a band called the Smokin Cobras. We're a cover band. I've been a songwriter. I've had record deals, three record deals in my lifetime, which amounted to absolutely nothing. And so, um, you know, I ended up getting up with this group of guys. We've been together for a few years now. Just a phenomenal group of guys. Anthony Russell and Kevin McShane and Ed Beardsley. Our band's called the Smokin Cobras. It's taken us everywhere from Dodger Stadium to Tokyo, literally.
Yeah.
We're not playing our songs, but we're playing just some of the greatest songs of all time, especially concentrating between the 50s and the 80s. So it's
Yeah.
really, you know, again, to your point, even though we're not up there working with the Rolling Stones, we're doing Rolling Stone songs, or we're doing a Prince song, or we're doing a song
Yeah.
by a master, and we're breaking it down and seeing what makes it tick. And I wouldn't want to do with any other group of guys, but these other three guys, and just love doing it. Love being a front guy.
Yeah.
Love putting the time and the energy into it. Nothing like getting that response from a crowd.
I
It's
was
so
just gonna ask
difficult.
that.
Yeah,
Gonna ask that difference on a TV set and a live audience.
yeah. And I did my share of sitcoms when I was younger. And that's a very strange thing with the sitcom,
Yeah.
because you know you've got that audience. So if you've done theater, your inclination is to play it as you would, you know, if you were doing a theater piece. But
Yeah.
the thing you can't forget is that you've got, you know, three or four cameras that are right there, so you can't
What
be
you?
too broad and too big, because you know
Yeah.
it's a television show, so it's a challenge.
Oh.
Not so much with music. With music, you can just, put it in fifth gear and just go.
Just
So
yeah,
pretty
just
fun.
yeah.
Are you a musician too?
No, I used to manage artists.
Oh, so you know
Yeah,
all about it.
yeah.
And it's a
That's how
business.
we got. Yeah, that's how we got the following we got from the artists, and then we just went into media entertainment.
That's great. It's a
Yeah,
tough business, right? Very
yeah,
hard.
it is. Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah.
is. Yeah, it is. So, is there anything else you would like the viewers to know about you?
Well, what I'd like the viewers to know, more than anything, is that game day is a very, very honest look at the family dynamic. We try to tell the truth. We certainly didn't pull any punches. There are some moments in it that will make you wince, make you your stomach knot up.
Yeah,
Things that you hear the characters say that you think, "Oh my God, I can't believe that person just said that." But I think that we've all said and done things, especially within the family, that we're not always proud of or don't always feel like it's our brightest or shiniest
oh, yeah,
moment.
that's
But I
for
do
sure.
believe that it offers people a glimpse at what family life really is like, and it lets them know that we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to live in a Brady Bunch family
Yeah,
world. We very few of us do. It's not the Cosby Show. It's
and
life
that, yeah,
is a little messier than that, and we really feel like game day really lets people see, hey, this is how hard it can get. We also feel like in the end there's hope. And so I really hope that everybody goes out and checks it out. It's on Tubi, it's on Plex, game day, and we're very, very proud of it. And thankful. Thank you for having us on your show, man.
no problem. Thanks for coming on.
No problem, buddy. Now here's the question: who you rooting for?
Yes. Who you rooting for? The Eagles are playing
The Cowboys, just
the
like in the movie.
Cowboys, just
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
movie. So just yesterday, the Eagles and Cowboys played just like in your movie.
yeah.
Who this is being recorded prior, so who do you pick to win the game?
Oh, listen, I'm celebrating right now because the Eagles, with our phenomenal quarterback Jalen Hurts and our incredible team, just good from top to bottom. It's been 3 years since we beat the Cowboys, but last night we took care of business, guys. Eagles all the way, Birds all the way.
There's the psychic right there.
Yes,
One more question.
sir.
Who's making it to the Super Bowl?
I honestly feel like it's going to, and not just being a homer, but I really do believe our team is that good. I feel like it's going to be Buffalo and the Eagles.
Buffalo
And
and Eagles.
as much as I love the Eagles, I think they are definitely the best team in the NFC. I think Buffalo is the best team in the league. Actually, I think Buffalo and Kansas City are the two best teams, and we're third. But they're going to obviously cancel each other out. So one of them is going to have to represent the AFC. So if I had put my money on it, I think it would be Buffalo. Buffalo versus the Eagles.
Buffalo versus Eagles.
And you
Okay.
never know. You can never know what happens once you get there.
Yeah.
My Jim Beam commercial that I did a few years ago, it debuted and ran on the Super Bowl that the Eagles won on 2017.
Oh, yeah.
So man, I'm telling you, dude, that was like the bonanza day for me. Like
Oh,
every
yeah, yeah, yeah.
every now and
Yeah,
again,
yeah, that's the biggest crowd, the Super Bowl commercials.
yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
unbelievable.
huge. Yeah, that's huge.
Huge. You know what else is huge? Do you know how much money is gambled on the NFL each year? What do you think? Legally, we're not talking illegally because this is a family show. So we're just, but
I
this
would
is
say I would say
statistic.
it has to be close to a billion, maybe.
$143 billion per
What?
per
Oh, I
year.
was way off. I thought I was like
Too. Me
hey.
too. My buddy told me this, and I'm like, no way. And he, of course, we all have our cell phones. So he went, showed it to me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh my word. So, man,
Wow.
it's big business. They could just, you know what? They could just take 1 million of that and moving in my direction for my next movie,
I know.
I'll take it, man.
Hopefully they hear and see that, you know, they're promoting game day. So
There you go. There you go.
Hey everyone watching Worldwide Entertainment TV. This is Ashley. Let us know your thoughts below and hit that notification bell after subscribing. Visit WWETVN.com to check out this worldwide exclusive.